Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're ranking the top 10 best cards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 15,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I'm uploading every single day, tons and tons of daily content, and would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe to help me push towards that 15K mark. We hit 14K earlier this week. Appreciate all the support, y'all, for real. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Number 10. I think I'm going Brandon Roy. I had a couple other options I could have gone with here, guys like Kyrie and Chris Bosh and a few other guys like that. But Brandon Roy is who I'm going to go with. 6'6", 6'8" wingspan, 88 speed and excel, 86 shot three, 90 driving dunk. Defensively, he's pretty good, not incredible. I will say defense is definitely his weakest attribute, but the thing that makes him a lot better, especially on the defensive end of the court, is the ability to get every badge. You can add clamps, glove, anchor, interceptor, things like that, and upgrade his playmaking badges like speed booster, handles for days, blow by, bailout, limitless range, blinders, corner specialist, green machine, etc., etc. Upgrade all the badges that aren't gold or Hoff. And then you can add whatever badges you want to him as well. It makes him super complete, allows him to be a really good defender while also being a great offensive card with an elite release, super solid movement, and overall elite slashing ability, and just a great all-around card. Especially when you badge him out, he becomes even better, and I think number 10 is a fair spot for B-Roy. Number 9 is where I'm putting Shaquille O'Neal. This is quite a drop-off from where I had him last time. Combination of a lot of new cards that have dropped, and honestly the meta of the game shifting because of the gameplay changes. The game plays so differently in terms of three hunting, delay, and shooting over the past week since they patched the game and, in my opinion, ruined it, that an inside center is not as viable as it once was. It's still very viable. Cards like Shaq and also Wilt, who we will see a little later on this list, are both incredible top-tier cards still, but the complete inability to shoot the ball limits them a lot. So even though they're dominant defensive cards, two of the fastest cards in the game, and elite interior forces offensively, great mashers, dunkers, all that stuff, the fact that they can't shoot the three ball at all, and really in Shaq's case, he can't even shoot a mid-range. Wilt can at least kind of shoot a mid-range, and Wilt is a better free throw shooter than Shaq. Even though Shaq is an incredible card, he's only number 9. And by the way, Steph Curry's not on this list. So we took out the top 3 hunting guards. Guys like Steph Curry and Devin Booker aren't on this list anymore. Kyrie Irving isn't on this list anymore. These guys aren't in the top 10 because of the way the meta has changed. And that's why Shaq is all the way down at number 9, where MJ is at number 8. I think you could even argue MJ higher than this. The thing that is so nice about MJ is that he defends really, really well. He's one of the best defensive cards in the entire game. He's incredibly fast and incredibly athletic, so he's a dominant slasher as well. The only thing he doesn't do great is shoot. He's got okay shooting stats, good shooting badges, but his fades are pretty slow and tough to green. His release itself is slow. It's easy to green, but it's kind of slow. And so that limits how truly amazing MJ is, because he's not a true threat from the behind the three-point line unless he is just wide open. But with that being said, he is one of the best defensive cards in the game, one of the best slashers in the game, and honestly, one of the best ball handlers in the game as well. He's got a great dribble style, a great size up, and a great escape, really good movement. So overall, MJ is a very, very good card, despite being a little bit questionable as a shooter. Wilt comes in at number 7. Like I said, he's basically just better Shaq. I don't think I have to waste too much time talking about Wilt specifically, because it's pretty self-explanatory. He and Shaq are very similar. Wilt has a slightly longer wingspan, is a better free throw shooter with a better free throw release. Not a hugely better free throw shooter, but has a much better free throw release. And then he can shoot a mid-range better than Shaq can. None of those things, honestly, are gigantic differences, but they're enough to make a slight difference there, and it outweighs the fact that Shaq has a better player build in terms of being bulky and wide as Wilt. And I think Wilt just is a couple of spots higher than Shaq. They're both dominant inside bigs, no doubt about that. Paul George, brand new shooting guard, came out today, is going to come in at number 6. PG's biggest weakness, honestly, is the fact that he's not a great shot creator. His SIGs are okay, but not amazing. Pro dribble style is nothing special. His escape is okay. His size up is okay. His between the legs movement is all right. He's got a decent same side burst. Like, he's an okay card. Behind the back is okay. He's a pretty good card. He's got a great release. He's an elite level slasher and a very, very good shooter and a great defensive card. Super versatile on the defensive end. He doesn't have anchor and unpluckable, but those are about the only 2 badges that he is missing. He's a really, really good, really, really well-rounded card. The biggest weakness for this card is playmaking. He is not a primary ball handler, and if you go into a game expecting Paul George to be a ball handler, you're going to be disappointed. At most, he's a secondary ball handler. Honestly, in most lineups, he's probably best as your tertiary ball handler, but he can play secondary ball handler and still be very capable. He's a great all-around card, though, and a perfect glue guy for your squad. One of the better cards in the game still. Number 5, I go Joel Embiid here. I think Embiid being a true 7-footer and having the size of a Shaq or a Wilt while also being able to shoot and still being the dominant inside because he's still an amazing interior defender, a very good dunker, half rise up, half masher, half post spin, half anchor, box out beast, and post lockdown. I like this Embiid card a lot at the center position, especially with the way the meta has changed, because having the ability to stretch the floor, I think, outweighs the fact that he's around 15 speed, slower than Shaq and Wilt, because he's got about the same size. Honestly, on the interior, there's not a huge difference in terms of their interior quote-unquote dominance, but Embiid can stretch the floor much, much better than Shaq and Wilt can, which is, in my opinion, a big enough difference maker that it puts him several spots above them and up in the top 5 of the best cards in the game. Number 4 is Magic. The main reason Magic is top 4 is simply because he's a 6'9" point guard. He and the one other point guard we're about to talk about, SGA, of course, are just huge mismatches to everybody else at the point guard position because they're so big, especially Magic. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan. He has 93 speed in Excel. Does not feel like he has 93 speed with ball. I will say that. He runs with the ball in his hands very slowly. Off the ball, he's fast, he's smooth. He has some really sometimes glitchy animations that you'll trigger that will move really quick, but generally speaking, he's kind of slow with the ball in his hands. He's not really a great shot creator. The only shot creation move that he has is his dribble style, which does give you a bit of a burst downhill and help you to get to the rim, which is very nice. Release is also very mediocre. It's kind of baited, but he's huge and he's super versatile defensively. I understand he's not the best defensive card in the world, but he will have no problem on Scottie Pippen, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, even guys like KD, Brandon Roy, MJ, etc. He's gonna be okay. He can compete. You can put him on your point guard and he can compete. The size is so valuable, though. The versatility, the switchability on the court. You can even put him on a power forward and he'll be okay. Like if you put him on AD or Blake or somebody like that, Sean Kemp, I think he's going to be just fine. And then he still does have a great playmaking ability. He's an elite rebounder, and the size and versatility he gives you is just so valuable at PG that it puts him as a top 4 card, despite the fact that his release is bad and he really doesn't move very well. Number 3, Kevin Durant. Speaking of KD, I just mentioned him. KD is an amazing, amazing card, man. I mean, he does everything on the court. 6'10", 7'4" wingspan, 90 speed, 94 3-ball, 85 driving dunk, 80 interior, 85 perimeter, 88 lateral quickness, 80 steal, 87 speed of ball, 90 ball handle. I mean, amazing all-around card, super versatile, really good slasher with good dunking animations. He shoots the ball incredibly well, nice release, super capable playmaker, and again can get every badge upgraded. Super versatile defensively, in my opinion, maybe the best power forward in the game right now. He's incredibly versatile, incredibly good, and I like his release as well. Dribble style, I mean, it's easy to get a good timing burst with him. He moves well. He's a really nice card in general. Number 2 is going to be SGA. I think SGA is better than Magic because his release is much better than Magic's and he moves much better than Magic. Even though he's not as big as Magic, his release is much better. He moves much better. Honestly, his badges are far more complete, especially since he can get anchor, clamps, glove, interceptor, those types of things if you want, as well as a limitless range, a blinders, those types of badges. I would add 5 of those 6 badges to SGA, and I'm not that far away from SGA. I do plan to get him within the next week. I've definitely slowed down on my grind since I got lucky enough to get an account with him on it, but I will be getting SGA pretty soon, and I'm excited to use him and add him to my account because he is, in my opinion, the best point guard in the game. Incredible release. He still has a giant size advantage at 6'6", which gives him a lot of defensive versatility as well to go guard a Paul George or an Andre Kirilenko or a Scottie Pippen or whoever it may be that's the worst ball handler of the starting 1 through 3. So unless you go up against somebody who's running Steph, I mean, you can kind of hide him on defense is basically my point. Well, you don't really have to hide him on defense is the other thing once you put the key badges on him and stuff, because his defensive stats aren't bad. And with the key badges, he's going to be good. Like, he's a dog. He's very, very good. Number 1, I do believe, is Giannis. I think this new Giannis, I have not used him yet, so I am actually saying this before using the card myself. I know a few people have pulled him, but I haven't been able to get gameplay yet or anything. We'll see if I'm able to in the next couple days. If I'm not able to get gameplay in the next couple days, at latest, gameplay will be coming Tuesday with the card because I am locking him in myself. The thing about Giannis is he's a 7-footer with a 7'4" wingspan, 93 speed in Excel, 93 interior, 90 lateral quickness, 95 driving dunk. I understand he is not a great shooter. Shooting badges are not elite on the card. In fact, he has none, although you can add them, which means you can put catch and shoot, claymore, limitless range, open looks, things like that on this card that will make him a legitimately good shooter because he has every single defensive badge in the game. You can upgrade all of his badges. When you look at the playmaking badges, what do you want to add to him? Quick first step and bailout. That's those 2. You have 3 more badge slots that you can use on shooting badges, and it's not quick first step, it's speed booster, but you want to add speed booster and bailout if you can. Maybe handles for days, but probably not. I think then you go catch and shoot, and then 1 of limitless range or well, actually, limitless range only really works outside of 30 feet. You're not going to be shooting that deep with him, so probably catch and shoot and open look, set, I don't know, something along those lines. But either way, this card is insane. His release is not amazing, and his movement isn't amazing. But he's a 93 speed 7-footer who can shoot the ball, is incredibly glitchy defensively. This card will be dominant at both power forward and center, and honestly, I don't know how I'm going to run my lineup yet, because he might have to play my center position because he's going to be such a mismatch. He's basically very similar, I mean, not quite, but similar size-wise to a Shaq and Wilt. Will be very similar to them in terms of defensive impact, but faster and able to shoot the ball, as well as a better playmaker than those guys. By the way, he does have an 86 ball handle, which means he can timing burst as well, so you can speed burst with Giannis, which means I legitimately might just put my half speed booster on him. I'm considering it. We'll see. Regardless, he's going to be absolutely incredible, and I'm excited to use that card. I'm hoping they will patch the gameplay, though, so that it's a little bit more skillful and a little bit more fun to play, but it is what it is. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Let me know what y'all think of the list in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.